traders, I will talk about how to stay sane. No, I won't talk about that because I am kind of an insane person, so how the fuck would I talk about how to be sane? That is for, you know, average normal people. You have to be a savage to make it in the forex markets and to actually just survive in the wide jungle of forex trading. So in today's video, come with me on this journey and I will talk about a really interesting topic, and it will be kind of an eye-opener for you because I will talk about moving averages versus price action patterns. And this is a battle that is just going on for years and decades and even days. So in today's video I will shine some light on this topic and some sweet knowledge that I grabbed from the ground of the jungle. So I will talk about real data and not just, you know, my opinion about this topic and not just some bullshit. I will talk about real data because real data is just the way to go. If you don't have real data on these things, how the fuck would you know what are you talking about and how you should trade? You have to have real data, you know, you have to analyze the markets to actually understand it. So first of all, I have tested and optimized and forward tested like thousands of EAs, and I'm not kidding. It is literally thousands of EAs that I backtested, optimized and forward tested because I work for clients. I am also a coder. I make custom EAs, and I'm always experimenting with new strategies, and I tried out like literally thousands of strategies that I also coded and backtested to just, you know, I just want to put the best EAs to my store, and therefore I have to make thousands of strategies, and most of them, you know, are just average, and a few of them just so good that I make a really good EA out of that, and I put it to my store and I use it to trade for my investors and for myself. So what I recognized during these, you know, testing and optimizing times, these hard, tough times, because optimizing and backtesting, if you do it seriously, it is just a so painful job because it is not quite fast, and you have to optimize and backtest like hundreds and thousands of EAs and strategies. So it is quite a job. Now, what I recognized and realized is that moving averages can work long term, but what I realized in these backtests, this real based on real data for 10, 20 and even for 40 years backtests, that moving average strategies, and this will be really important, write it down. Moving average strategies, and now I am talking about the moving averages that are the most common, you know, used moving averages, because of course there are new developed moving averages and you know, indicators and all kinds of technical analysis tools, like, you know, like fuck you, that was a fuck you, go away. So so indicators and moving averages, you know, these are the most commonly used like technical analysis tools. So I realized that most people are using the technical indicators that were invented in the 80s. And the problem is, of course, there are things that are just maintain, their values, their worth, and there are truths that aren't changing, But the problem is that this is not the case with technical indicators, and this video is really fucking important, because most people think that if they use these simple indicators that are, on the markets for, I don't know, for 30, 40 years, that they will work just as good as they were working in the 80s. The problem is that in the 80s, when these smart, intelligent traders invented these, like Bollinger Bands, like most of the indicators people are using, these technical indicators, the market was just, there weren't so much technical indicators at the time. That is the truth. These were the first technical indicators, and therefore when these people invented them and started to trade it, using these indicators, they were the best, they were the kings, because the market wasn't prepared for these indicators, and other traders were just so much behind the ones who use technical analysis instead of what everybody was using at the time and before, fundamental analysis. So when they invented these, it was a fucking advantage, and they worked. And when I test these strategies from the 80s and stuff, I see that these kind of indicators and strategies were just, they were the best. They work like beasts, and the problem is that it is an exponential growth. When people recognized these indicators and learned how to use them and everything, they kind of lost their values over time. And when internet, was just, it became popular and accessible by everyone, everybody just started to use these indicators on MT4 and even before MT4, the first platforms that provided online trading. And therefore these kind of indicators and technical analysis just exponentially, in my opinion, lost its value. And of course, if you put like 3, 5 or more indicators together, it can work. I don't say it can't work, but the problem is that even then you have to update your settings and your parameters and your indicators so often that I don't think it is really worth it. The one way I see to use these indicators in real live trading is the way that you combine them with price action patterns and with new tools, because it is just the truth. I've tested all the old 80s indicators and I was a really big fan of them until the point where I started to do forward testing. Because when it came to forward testing, I realized that all these indicators only work on really long term. So I sell and I use long-term EAs, but it is not that kind of long term. What I'm talking about with these all the indicators, it is like one trade per 1 year, and that is just not. It is just too. It is just too. It is not trading anymore. It is investing rather. So what I recommend for you is to combine it with price action patterns, because what I do is I develop new price action patterns that aren't used by every trader, the market, and so I have an advantage over the market, and I add these old timer indicators because they can work really good to filter ranging markets and to filter other kinds of things, but they can't play a main role anymore in your trading strategy. That is what I'm trying to say. So just develop or use some price action strategy, and even with price action strategies, don't use the really common ones or combine price action. You have to combine price action patterns together to actually be profitable. And just think about it, how technology just exponentially grow day by day, and how you can compete with AI systems with your Bollinger Bands or with your simple moving averages. The problem is that in the long term it can't be done. You have to figure out some new strategy, some new way, and you must use price action if you want to be profitable, and you must use price action for your entry strategy on lower time frames as well, because you know that I trade on higher time frames because I think that is the key in trading to be profitable. But when it comes to entry, I don't want to miss the best entry. So I analyze the data on the higher time frames, and my entry, I analyze it on the lower time frames, so I don't miss sweet pips. And yeah, so I hope this video was just useful for you, and you will somewhat, just follow my advices in this topic, because it is really important for you. And yeah, let's get it. Ciao.